Amigos, amigas, friends, my friends, everybody, you know who this is? Of course, this is Thunder Rosa. And I want to introduce to all of you guys, this absolutely amazing channel. This is the Dre 41 Gaming channel. And if you haven't seen this, guys, you are watching Dre 41.
What's up, y'all? It is your boy Dre 41, aka Mr. 4K, aka El Fuego, Spicy Dre, aka I Am the Ops. And if you're watching this, then you are watching All-Star Pro Wrestling 3. I want to say this was, who's this developed by? Square Enix? Yeah, I feel like, yeah, Square Enix. Alright, it's cool. So, here's another game that I can potentially play for you guys. Now, I already have a playthrough of this game, and I'm not gonna lie, this game is probably one of the more difficult Japanese wrestling games to play. Now, it's not like so difficult that it reaches the level of Fire Pro. It's not like that. It's not a timing based. But it's weird how they set it up. The controls are very odd. Square Enix is not a developer known for wrestling games, so for them to bang out 3 is astonishing within itself. But just the controls, I don't kind of like. I don't kind of like the controls. They're a little bit difficult, but it's still playable. Power Make, that's the mode that is called where you play as a wrestler and go through, I don't know if it's a season, I don't know, you just have matches, and it's not easy. I'm gonna keep saying that, it's not easy, but this game overall is enjoyable. I feel like as far as games that capture the feel of strong style wrestling is definitely this game. This game definitely holds it down, especially when you're going into the realm of 3D. I guess 2D would have to be, you know what, the more I think about it, I don't think Fire Pro is simulation. It could be, but it also could be super arcadey, especially with the move creator. So I don't know if I can say Fire Pro is the overall best wrestling simulator. I don't know if that's the case. It might have to be this game. It might have to be All-Star Pro Wrestling. You know what? It could also be King of Coliseum too. Yeah, it could also be King of Coliseum. But I would say this game because the graphics are better. Even though hold on. I'm going to contradict myself. I don't need graphics to enjoy a game. They don't have to be pristine. They don't. But it is great when you get them. So I would have to say that this game is the best wrestling game simulator. So captures the feel of this territory style of wrestling. Because you will sit there and say, well, what about like WWE style or Lucha Libre? Well, the Lucha Libre game, I guess, you know, simulates Lucha Libre style. But even that game, boy, I had that game. Do I have that game? I think I do. Don't I? I'm trying to look at my games, but I can't. They're kind of far away. But yeah, though that game, boy, that game is rough, geez. That game is rough. But the one thing about this game is that it does have a good roster. I love the presentation. I'm always gonna say this, but Japanese wrestling games to me always will have the best presentation. Point blank period. To me, you can't even argue if they do or don't. Because for me, it's the pageantry, the pyro, the entrances. You know what I'm saying? The sounds of the crowd. you know, them throwing streamers into the ring for the introductions. You know, I don't know. It's just I like it. Once again, one of my favorite wrestling games is Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, and I just enjoy the presentation. Like, even with that game, you start like in the backstage, and then you come to the ring. It's really cool, and they really, like, even with the N64, they captured the feel of Japanese wrestling, which is super cool, because it's like a lot of the times when you look at professional wrestling, especially like American wrestling, and because they both have a game, I'm gonna use AEW and WWE for an example. And it's like a lot of what you see on TV, you don't get in the games. You don't. Now, you can sit there and say in Japanese wrestling games that, oh, they don't have as many modes or as many wrestlers, and you know what I'm saying, this stuff, that, whatever. But they capture the feel. That's the one thing that they're able to do that American wrestling games just have not been able to capture. And what I mean by that is like, you watch an episode of Raw or SmackDown or even NXT, you're never gonna get a one-to-one when you play the game. AEW is, wow, it's so far from what you, well, the no selling and the blood in every match, you can get that, but I mean, overall, it's AEW is so far from what you see on TV, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done in like current day wrestling games. Like, you could pop this game in and have so much fun, you really can. And I feel like in the WWE games, you just, I don't know, like, I haven't played 2K24 or 25. What game are we on? Hold on, let me see what game we on. I don't even remember. What game are we on? Are we on 25? What is it? 24? 24, sorry. We're on 24, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I could stop playing that game for weeks, months on end. Like, it just doesn't have the enjoyability. And I don't feel like I'm like, when I pop this game and I feel like I'm watching the episode of New Japan, or I'm watching a pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? When I play 2K or AEW, I don't feel like I'm watching the show. And I go back to like EA Sports, like back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when they used to say EA Sports is in the game. If it's in the game, it's in the game. And I feel like wrestling games don't have that. They don't have that ability to say, what you see on TV, we can emulate in the game. Because I don't know, like, the promo system wasn't great. It really wasn't. I feel like they should never took it out. They should have improved it, but they did, you know. And promos is a huge thing in wrestling. How you take out promos in a wrestling game? Like, how was that even, like, how does that even make sense? I'm so confused by that. That doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. It is what it is. I just feel like for wrestling games in general, you have to have the overall feel. We've had so many WWE games that came out every single year, and they have yet to this day captured the feel of professional wrestling. They haven't. Like, I don't know, it's just the presentation's not there. I mean, entrance wise, presentation's there, but commentary's just not there. Commentary hasn't been there in a long time, and mainly because I feel like they never switch up the commentary teams. I feel like they need to. That would help. Add Pat McAfee, you know what I'm saying? Add Corey Graves. Add, like, what you see on TV is what you get when you're on those particular shows, or you can choose who you want your commentary team to be. That's important to me. That's important with WWE games. Also, emotion. What I mean by that is, they should have moves in the game that incorporates spots. And usually, like with OMG moments, that's like, okay, that's incorporating gameplay with spots. That's cool. But I mean, like, for an example, right? Like, you try to do a chop fest with Gunther, and he ends the move with, like, chopping hell out of you. Something like that. Or, like, for another example, which is good, like the hockey fights, the back and forth punches, or chops, or whatever the case is. That's cool. That's cool, but it happens so infrequently. Like, it rarely happens. And it's just like, it's a cool feature that just doesn't happen like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I feel in AEW, there's no emotion to that game. That game, which is so weird to me, how they say they want it in the spirit of the Aki games, but it's arcade. That's what I'm not understanding. Like, to me, the Aki games are more simulation than anything. They're not the best simulation, because I said I believe this one is, but it's up there. It's like a close second. I don't know what they were thinking about, but it's just like the AEW game, I want to enjoy it. I want to so badly, but I just feel like it was a miss. And you know, I don't know how much they spent. I guess people are saying like 8 million and some change. I feel like they should have threw more money on it and not rushed it. You cannot rush perfection. That's something that I feel like will always be the case. You can't rush it. I feel like they should have just took their time, filled out the roster, my goodness, update the attires, my goodness, have a call mode that's respectable. But I don't want to sit here on this video and dig on AEW. I don't, because I still feel like Ukes is the top tier developers when it comes to wrestling games. I still feel that way. I still feel that. But back to this game, right? So I can potentially play through this game, and I'm gonna let you guys decide on if I play through this game or if I play something else. It's important for me to sit there and finish these games because I purchased them, and I don't want to just have them and not beat the games. You know what I'm saying? Like, a majority of the games that I have, I've beaten them. There's so many playthroughs on my channel. You can definitely watch them, where I beat wrestling games multiple times, unlocked multiple characters. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a walkthrough. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the one thing that I always wanted. And you don't really get that on YouTube, where you get a channel where they go through the game and actually beat the game. Like, you don't get that. So it's just like, for me, and I'm not talking about just WWE games, like, there's mad channels that play through WWE games. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like Japanese wrestling games or wrestling games in general, that they really go through, beat the game, you know what I'm saying, and you're good money. And I'm looking at the TNA game right now. Dang, I'm never gonna do a playthrough of that one. I remember beating that game back when it first came out. I'm never playing that game again. I have it. I'm never playing it again. I don't know. That game is bare bones. Whoa, holy smokes, Batman. That game is bare bones. But it is what it is. This game right here is very in-depth. The one issue that I always have with Japanese wrestling games is that I gotta use a translator. I wish I could read Japanese. I wish I could. That would make life so much easier for me in order of beating these games. And you could say, oh, well, why don't you take classes or whatever? If I had the time, shoot. You think it's just easy just to get up one day and just start learning Japanese? Like, come on. But no, I really do like this game. Like I said, I have a playthrough of it. You should definitely check it out. But I never completed it, so this could be another game that I could beat. Like I said, I want to beat all the games, but I want you guys to show me which one you guys want me to attempt, and I'll do it. And I probably won't enjoy it, especially if it's this. I will enjoy it, but I will complain. I'll say that. I will enjoy it, but I will complain. And it's just because the game is difficult, man. Like, they start you off as a jobber, bruh. Just like Wrestle Kingdom. They start you off as a jobber, bruh. And it's like, bruh. Like, and then they send you on an excursion so you can kind of get better. But then if you train too hard, you get injured. And it's like, come on, man. Like, bruh. Like, I don't know. Like, okay. So for Wrestle Kingdom 1, I don't know how to max my player out for the ending. I beat the game twice, and I still haven't figured it out. So I'm going to. I want to try that game again. I feel like I can do it. I feel like I can do it, but I have to create somebody in order to do it. And the create a wrestler feature in that game, if I remember correctly, isn't the greatest. It isn't the greatest. It's based off of what's the game that they had for the GameCube? Day of Reckoning. It's built off the Day of Reckoning engine for the Wrestle Kingdom game. So I don't know. I'll figure something out, and I'll try to make sure that it's worth it. You feel me? But this episode, and of course this is voiceover work. But this episode is coming to an end. So appreciate you guys. Well, this is the first match, but I'm gonna cut this into 2 videos because that's just what I do. Jushin Thunder Liger walks away with the victory, so that's what that is. But yeah, definitely subscribe, all that great stuff. I definitely appreciate y'all. If you're watching this video up to this point, thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, that's it for this match. Let's get to the next match. What's up, y'all? This is your boy Dre41. We still in the building. This is just a continuation, so it actually helps me pad my channel out when I do videos like this where I cut it. Because it's just like, a lot of the times, I try to respect your time. I don't want you guys staring at the video because I know people's attention span is not that large. People will sit there and watch a video for 2 minutes and be done. So I put it for like 15, cut it in half, and then, you know, do another video. But whatever, it is what it is. But back to what I was saying for this game. Like, look at the entrance. Look at this. Look at the presentation. Look at the pageantry. Like, this is, and I don't understand, why in the hell does New Japan not have a wrestling game? They should have been had a wrestling game out years ago. Years ago they should have had a wrestling game out. Why don't they? Like, is there something that I'm missing? Can somebody put me on here and explain to me why we're not getting a New Japan wrestling game? You want to know something even better? Why haven't any of these independent wrestling game developers reached out to New Japan to create a damn wrestling game? Well, it would have cost a lot, because they would have had to purchase the rights, and that would have been expensive, especially for an independent developer or studio. Okay, never mind that. So none of the indie devs should ever take New Japan. It just doesn't make sense. But what I will say is, I feel like if AEW goes a different direction and don't use Ukes, they own the engine, so they can hire whoever else to do the game. Cool, whatever. Ukes should hit up New Japan, like, bruh, make another Wrestle Kingdom game. You got New Japan. You could throw Noah. Who else you could throw? You could throw in Stardom. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? That would be hard. Like, yo, that would be hard. That would be hard. Like, yo, to have a Wrestle Kingdom 3? Ooh, that'd be... Bro, I'm getting it. And then you could put, like, American commentary. You feel me? Because a lot of Western fans watch New Japan. They watch Noah. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that'd be beautiful. That would be beautiful, yo. I would cop that game. I would get a physical copy of that game. Well, no, I wouldn't be able to play it on my Series X because I got the digital one. But it's fine. I would get a physical copy and the digital game. Not even playing. I would. Like, I would love that for them to have an updated game with, like, Japanese legends. You know, throw Vader in it. Mitsuharu Misawa in there, throw Kenta, you know what I'm saying, throw Kenta Kobashi in there, throw all of them in there, throw Hayabusa in there, you know what I'm saying, just throw them all in there. Have the roster just, oh my goodness, have like 300, yeah, let's do it, 300 wrestlers, why not? You feel me? Personally, I feel like that game would do numbers. But I'm saying that as a super fan of Japanese wrestling, of strong style wrestling. Would it sell a lot? Especially in Western, like the Western audience? Potentially. If they keep the costs low, of course I feel like they would have to use a pre-existing engine. And I feel like, honestly, who owns the rights to wouldn't Yuke still own the rights to the oh goodness, I just said it. It was the GameCube game, Day of Reckoning. Wouldn't they own the Day of Reckoning engine? Couldn't they just use that? Like that? Seriously. They don't even have to make a new engine. Just have it be Day of Reckoning and I'm cool. Facts. I would be cool with that. Like, I wouldn't even complain. I would be so happy with just that. Give me the Day of Reckoning engine, Wrestle Kingdom 3, give me New Japan, give me Noah, give me Stardom. What would be a third Japanese company besides New Japan and Noah? What else can we put in there? DDT? Could we put DDT in there? Would DDT mean something? FMW? You know what I'm saying? Like, or make it like a roster like King of Coliseum. That would, but not the gameplay. Keep it Day of Reckoning gameplay. Do that. That would make fans happy, and it would make it simple. Because I feel like the reason why a lot of people are afraid to jump into these type of games, they're just scared of the controls and they don't want to deal with it. They want something simple. They want something they can play, something that's intuitive, something that's responsive. And the Day of Reckoning engine, I feel like, is that. It's arcadey. Don't get me wrong. It is definitely arcadey, which kind of goes against the strong style of, you know, the wrestling for the game that it is. But I feel like it will be, pause, easy to swallow or easy to digest, pause, for Western fans. I feel like that will work. And then you can have the different arenas, you can have the different pay-per-views, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, it's not important to be able to edit the wrestlers who are in-game. I don't feel like that's important for the Japanese wrestling games. For WWE games, sure, like, you know, the internet wrestling community or the call community, they soak that stuff up. They're a sponge to doing that. But in Japanese wrestling games, I feel like you don't really need it. I don't feel like that's an important factor for Japanese wrestling games. For American wrestling games, I guess, because we've been programmed more or less to feel like that's a needed feature. I don't honestly feel like it's that important, but I can understand the importance of it. Because a lot of people, like, even if you go on Twitter, like if you're in the call community, you see that there's people, when a new attire come out, they're on that the next day or the same day. I have too much of a life at this point in time to ever be able to do that. Have I been able to do that before? Sure, when I was younger. Now, hell no, I'm not doing that. What? I have this thing called a life. I'm not, listen, I don't remember the last time I was on 2K, to be completely honest. So yeah, that's what that is. I actually been playing College Football 25 a lot, and UFC 5, which I know I don't record that because y'all don't want to watch that on my channel. K&D Project, you might see it on there. K and D as in David Project. That's a YouTube channel, another YouTube channel that I'm on as well, where I play different games. But back to this, or back to the wrestling game that I'm talking about, Wrestle Kingdom 3. Wrestle Kingdom 3 should be the be all, and like if they came out with that, I'm good. I don't need another Japanese wrestling game after that. But they need to have an expansive creative wrestling. They need to have that. That is important. That is super important that they have that. And why I say that is because we want to add people. Because it's not going to be a situation where it's going to be a yearly release. I don't need it to be a yearly release. Big Germ on the outside, okay. Might be a count out here, I don't know. But I feel like that's a great idea. Like, would you guys even buy a Japanese wrestling game? Like, would you buy a brand new one? Like, just a strictly Japanese wrestling. Of course, they're gonna have like American wrestlers in there, whatever the case is. Global wrestlers, like, you know, freelancers. But like a New Japan Noah Stardom joint, I feel like honestly, it would do good. As long as they keep the development costs down by using it, and they don't have to have true to life graphics. It can look like this game. It can look like AEW Fight Forever, kind of. It could not kind of. It could look like AEW Fight Forever. I'm fine with that. I don't have to have photoreal graphics. I don't even know why people feel like wrestling games need that. I don't know why. Because honestly, yo, it's not that important. Because if the gameplay is garbage, or you don't enjoy it, you're not going to play it. WWE 2K20. And honestly, the graphics wasn't even that good in that game. Like, I don't know what the hell happened with that, boy. But yeah, like that's just proof there that if the game isn't fun, it doesn't matter how it looked. You're not gonna play it. You feel me? So, damn, big choke slam by Vader. Let's get it. Vader putting in work right now. Misawa in trouble. Oh damn, big germ. But yeah, let me know if you guys would buy a Japanese wrestling game, like a brand new one, because like I said, it's important for, I think, just for wrestling fans in general to have that type of option, because once again, right now all we have is AEW and WWE until we get to independent wrestling games. And where the hell is Ultra Violence Pro Wrestling? Did they just like give up? Like, what the hell? What happened with them? They like, initially they had the game, they were showing off stuff, and they just stopped. Like, that's like, dog, use crowdfunding if you're really serious about making a game, right? I don't think it's so much about, oh well, if you ask people for money, then they're gonna expect the game. Sure, but then you don't gotta worry about the time that you would need to make it and being able to pay bills because you have the money, your crowdsourced. But I don't know. I'm not a game developer. I don't know. People could sit there and say, Dre, you don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. And I would have to agree with him. I don't know. All I would know is I would want to play it. Like, I want to play that game. I do, but I just don't think it's coming out. I don't. Which sucks, man. That sucks. Because they went radio silent. So it's either they really digging in and making moves, or they're not. They're just, I don't know. Or they're just taking their time. Maybe it's something we'll never see. The ones that I do know for sure right now, like this year, is coming out with a, as I was saying, so would you guys want to you like how I just switched that up? It's fine, don't worry about it. But yeah, Japanese wrestling game, Wrestle Kingdom 3, which is not a real game, but would you guys mess with it? Would you guys buy it? I feel like I said, it's a great idea. It's a great idea. Just have multiple companies. You have to. Wrestle Kingdom games always have multiple companies. You have to. The only one that doesn't have multiple companies that's a Japanese wrestling game, I think, is Giant Graham. Oh, and the New Japan joints, the Token Red Sudan joints. I couldn't forget about those. The Token Ratsuden joints. Damn, man. They should make another Token Ratsuden. That'd be hard too. Hold on, I kind of forgot about that. I kind of forgot about a Token Ratsuden. Oh man. Huh. A Token Ratsuden 5. Because Token Ratsuden 4 is the old SmackDown engine. I think that'd be tough. I definitely think that would be tough. But does Yuke's own that engine? Because it's like, man, it's been updated so much. I think 2K owns that now. But maybe not an older? Nah, hell no they don't. Because they used the SmackDown engine for the AEW game. So if they could go back and use an older version, they wavy. They can do that, I think. So yeah, I think they could. I think that makes perfect sense. A Token Ratsuden game. Yeah. I don't believe I completely that slipped in my mind. That's crazy. Yeah, Token Ratsuden 4 is wavy. You know what I'm saying? And the call mode for it isn't great. Call mode for Token Ratsuden 4 not great. But you know, I believe if they gave them time, Yuke's would be able to make a good call mode. They have done it before. But yeah, either a Wrestle Kingdom, a Token Ratsuden. I wouldn't say, well, All Japan is gone, so it wouldn't be a giant gram. But those two, a Token Ratsuden, or you know, a Wrestle Kingdom. But let me know what y'all guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Catch you on the next video. I appreciate y'all. Later.